Hi, Casey Durango of Go Keto with Casey here. I found some footage of my husband portioning a prime rib and then cooking up a bit. This is not an instructional video, but just doing it for fun. Okay, as I said, this is not a how-to, but you can see my husband is sharpening on a stone a rather large knife. He used to be a meat cutter, and so this is an appropriate knife to portion a standing rib roast. At least that was the way he was taught. So, you always want to work with a sharp knife. It's an old truism that you really only get cut with a dull knife. So you want things quite sharp. And be careful. Again, this is not a how-to. This is just some footage I had. So there's the standing rib roast. This is a 7-rib roast purchased at Costco. And we portioned this into, I'll have to do the math, but several roasts. And there he is with the steel. Once you use the stone, he really wanted a sharp knife and needed one. So there we go. And we also have a food saver, which I have found to work very well. We pack away just about everything. So we will buy in bulk and portion and put away. So the steaks that we got, or the roasts rather, that we got from this full roast, we still have at least one, and it's probably been a year and a half, maybe close to 2 years. And they're perfectly good. So there's the full rib roast. If you haven't seen one before or wondered, it's not a big deal to portion it. You get the knife between the couple of the ribs, and you have to kind of work in there, and again, a sharp knife and the appropriate knife, large enough works. So you work it a little bit. So he's making a 2-rib roast out of this, and then the rest were 1-rib roasts. And that sounds like, well, that's kind of no fun. 1 rib? It is so much wonderful, delicious food that the 2-rib roast will feed our entire family. When the family's visiting and the spouses are here and everyone's together and we're sitting around, that more than feeds everyone with some left over. And save the bones, because those go in the frozen bone bag in the freezer, and I make bone broth out of every kind of bone. It doesn't matter, lamb, chicken, pork, beef, that goes in the bone bag, and I make homemade broth. So the rest of these, he just cut 1 rib. I'm not going to show him cutting all of them because it's just kind of cutting pieces of meat. He is trimming off some, and some of the trimmings, you can get a couple of meals out of that. We will also get a full ribeye, out of which he can often get like 20 to 22 or 23 nice thick steaks. I like them thick, so he portions them for that. And we will have days worth of meals just from the trimmings, just kind of cleaning things off of the full ribeye. So don't let it go to waste. And doesn't that look good? The beautiful marbling. That's what you want. If you don't know, the marbling, that's fat, and that's what we love about being able to follow the ketogenic protocol. So he took some of the scraps that he had over there, he was trimming off, and went home from bringing home the bacon to frying it up in a pan, as it were. This is just our cooktop, the skillet, and though that's just the meat that he had just trimmed off with some seasonings, and cooking it in reserved bacon fat, but not too much, just a glob of it, and a couple of scallions, and you'll see later he puts tomatoes in. He really likes aliños, which are in Colombia, South America, which is where he's from. That's very common. He used to put it when we ate rice. He would put it in rice. He still puts it in eggs, huevos con aliños. It's just kind of a standard thing to put with seafood, with pork, with beef, with chicken. I don't do it all the time. He doesn't do it all the time, but when we have the fixins, and there's that beautiful tomato. Don't waste. Don't waste. Don't want to eat the root end, but don't waste. So he's going to dice up that bright red tomato, and that will go in as well. And his general seasonings when he cooks are salt, pepper, garlic. That's kind of it on just about anything. Sometimes we will use our family of seasonings, which some of you may know are equal parts ginger, cayenne, turmeric and kosher salt. I just put equal parts into a jar and keep that handy and use it on just about everything. So there we are. It's simmering away, and I don't remember. That might have been a meal for him, a meal for me, and then another meal for him later. I don't recall, but just from scraps. So yeah, that rib roast I think was $143, but we've been eating off of it for at least a year and a half. We don't eat prime rib every week, or not even close to it. But when we do have even just the one rib roast between my husband and I, and we enjoy beef, so we eat it, it lasts several days. You just get all kinds of meals from it. Doesn't that look good? And it makes its own sauce. If you just let it simmer, you don't have to add any thickener or anything. And here's just a shot of an actual cooked prime rib. And that is the easiest thing in the world to cook. If you haven't done it yet, you want to try to do that. So easy. I'll try to remember to attach a video for that, because it really is super easy. And there we go. And that was a one rib roast. Thanks a lot for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Check in again next time. See you when I see you. Thanks a lot. Bye.